quorum. John, can you hear me?
Yep, I started recording.
Okay, thank you. Well, welcome everybody. Good to see you. Our first agenda item is public to be heard, and I don't believe we have any tonight.
Where's
And
our
it's-
public?
And as far as a financial report, I also didn't get an updated one of those today, but I do have some good news there. We are finally starting to bring in some income again. Our swimming lessons have started, and we have them nearly full with what we're allowed to do, which is semi-private and private lessons and family pods and all. But I did turn in about $1,900 in swimming lesson income. We also have yoga and Tai Chi starting. And we also turned in $230 from the concession stand from Saturday. Saturday was
Wow.
the Playscape celebration, and we sold hot dogs and ice cream and soda. And we brought in $230. So that's a really good thing to get back on track with bringing in income, because it was pretty dry there for a year.
How was the turnout for that?
We kind of had a captive audience, Andrew. The baseball, we coordinated with baseball, and they had scheduled 5 games down there. So T-ball finished their practice when we had the little ceremony, I guess you'd call it, at the Playscape to say happy birthday to the Playscape and give credit where credit was due to the guys who built it and all, and the committees that made it happen. And we had the Playscape decorated with balloons and everything. So it looked quite festive, and the T-ballers, which is first and second graders, I think, really enjoyed that and came and played. And Catherine gave a little speech and I gave a little speech. And that was it on that end. But the baseball had game after game after game scheduled, 5 in a row down there. So we had a steady flow of traffic and steady flow of people through all day. And that's what makes it worthwhile to open the concession stand.
Yeah,
On a regular Saturday with a game or two, it's not really worth it. So we were pleased with how that all went. Neil, you have any feedback on that? What were your thoughts on the day and the event?
It was definitely a good idea. Like you said, a captive audience. It was a little difficult to figure out, supply levels, but I think we did all right for the most part. I also wanted to ask you, were there a bunch of hot dogs left over?
There were. And we have some in the freezer. We have a package and a half in the freezer at the park, which I'm hoping we can use for one of our concerts or our camp out. So some of the food that we've paid for the concession stand we'll still be able to use going forward. There's also a bunch of popsicles left, which we can sell at concerts or use for our bike camp. So that will, reap benefits going forward in terms of it won't be an additional expense. It's something we'll already have.
And the event that happened Saturday with the baseball and that kind of the baseball, softball, is that going to happen again, or any events like that?
I think that was probably it. I mean, they'll still have some home games, but baseball in the past has done something like that and called it Ashford Day, and they really try to load up all the games in Ashford that day. And so it's coordinated and has to be scheduled in advance. And so they did it for May 15th for us this year. But as far as I know, no other dates like that will be happening this year. Did that answer your
All right, cool.
question?
Thanks. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So financial report, as I was saying, we're getting back on track with having some income coming in. And as far as fiscal year end coming up and identifying any budget issues, I don't know of any except that I mean, we're not way off on expenses. Those have remained pretty stable, but we didn't take in much income at all this year, as you guys know. And we normally take in 35,000, so. Moving on in the agenda, I'm moving down to opening of town hall and programs. Like I said, some programs are starting this week. We started with swimming lessons last week. Tomorrow morning is our first morning for yoga. And Wednesday night will also be Tai Chi starting. So we're excited about getting those off the ground. And pickleball has been going strong.
I saw somewhere that people are actually charging to play pickleball.
Really?
Trying to remember where it was. Might have been in Long Island, actually, now that I think about it.
Ah,
But they actually charge. Oh, yeah, it was Jones Beach, Long Island. They
uh-huh.
actually charge you to use the facility.
And was it an outdoor court?
Yep.
Well, we just charged people for our Pickleball 101 course, which we offered in April. That was a success with 9 people. But for the most part, when it's at the parks, it is free and everybody uses them. The neat thing that's happened with pickleball is there's a new, it's an app and it's called Playtime Scheduler. So you can go on this app and I can post when we're playing in Ashford. And then out in Dayville, they can post when their hours are. And we actually got it from Sturbridge. And so people can go on and say, yeah, I want to play Saturday at 10. And when 4 people have signed up, your phone pings and you know you have a match. And then you can put down what level of play it is. You can put down what a max number of people to sign up are. It's pretty neat. We just started using it in the last 2 weeks. And it's interesting. So we're having some mixing of groups in terms of people from Dayville coming to Ashford and swapping around like that. But it makes for good play and it makes it fun. It's always great to have not just 4 out there, but 8, and then you swap different partners and different opponents and all. So that's been kind of neat. As far as new business goes, in regards to park maintenance, we've had real issues with the Portalette company, but rather than going into all the details with it, we think we have it resolved. And hopefully going forward, we won't have any more issues. But what's happened in that industry over COVID is a lot of the local, small mom and pop Portalette companies have been bought up by big companies. And right now we send our payment to Texas for United Site Services, and everything you do is online and you can't just call and get the guy to run down and give you something in the next day or 2. So I'm not a fan. I prefer the mom and pop Portalette guys by far. But hopefully we have our issues worked out there. But just know that it's a lot of change in that industry and quite competitive now. I ended up calling 5 other companies trying to get service or swapping out from them, and you can't do it. Out of the 5, 2 of them had already been bought up by these guys. I think it's going to end up being a monopoly. And the others that were close were charging about $20 more per unit per month than what we're currently paying. So anyway, that's been a park maintenance issue. We've already talked about the Memorial Park Playscape celebration. Anybody have any other questions or thoughts on that? Something I just learned today, or we would have made a bigger deal out of it Saturday, is that I guess it's Department of Public Works Workers Week, where it's like honor your DPW. So if you see any of those guys around,
Give him a hug.
well, I was gonna say, just show them some appreciation. How about a high five? I'd still wear my mask if I were you, if I were you, Andrew. But yeah, give them some appreciation. They do a lot of stuff, a lot of thankless work, if you know what I mean. Some of it's very
Yep.
hard work, some of it's very hot work. Some of it's work that we all take for granted, and the only time you hear about it is when it's not done, and then everybody's complaining about it, if you know what I mean. So it is DPW week. Oh, you know what we need in the parks maintenance area? Does anybody have any time this week that they could help us on to do some weeding in the planting areas around the tennis court, around the pickleball courts? We were gonna try to do some weeding on Wednesday, Wednesday morning, if anybody can join us for any of that, I'd appreciate it. Gwen thought that if we got about 5 people, we could probably get it done in an hour, hour and a half. Kids are welcome. Anybody who can weed is welcome.
Unfortunately, now I'm gainfully employed, so
Yeah.
Ooh. That's
yeah.
rough. Send a text if you would, Sherry.
Okay.
Um,
Wednesday morning possible for you, Garth?
Yeah, it's possible for a little
Okay.
bit of time for sure.
All right,
Wow.
thank you. Good. All right, we're zipping right through this agenda, you guys. That's all right, isn't it? Okay, I can't think of anything else in the parks maintenance area. Have you guys noticed or seen anything when you've been down at the park?
Did we ever? I had the little list about things to do in the park, and I can't find it. And I've been looking this entire time. I saw it, and I just can't find it, which is annoying. But I remember that you had a whole bunch of a list of little things to do. One was that electric.
Yep,
We're not going to do garbage pails, right?
right.
We put up the signs for the dog stuff. Now,
Oh, that's one thing. We do need signage at Ashford Memorial Park.
right, that was the other one.
Yep,
To actually put a sign to say, hey, there's a park over here.
yep. I'm working on something there. We had an old sign that actually says Ashford Recreation Park. It was used at another location, but the sign is carved out and it's really in good shape. And I'm wondering if there's a way to recycle or reuse at least the Ashford Park part of it and get a new memorial in there. Anyway, I'm working with it. I believe John Rettenmeyer from town was the man who did the sign originally. And have had a hard time reaching him, but I'm trying to pursue that.
Okay. Oh, camera. Yeah, cameras for the park to keep people from doing donuts in the field. You are being monitored.
Yeah.
And I no longer think that a dummy camera would be appropriate. I think a real camera would be a real bunch of cameras.
It would be great to catch them, to get that license plate on film and send the police to their house.
Yep.
I think it would curb it for sure. Do you have any idea what that would cost?
I can look into it if you want.
I would appreciate that if you could, Andrew,
Right.
what the actual cost of that would be.
We
If
can
we
actually
had
put it
one-
into the concession stand,
Yep,
mount it on the concession stand in multiple directions, so we can pretty much take care of the entire park from that one location.
yeah, it would be great.
They're cheap for home, but down there there's no internet service, right?
Well, you don't necessarily need you need the internet in order to have a live stream to your phone or something to that effect. But if we notice that there's an incident, it records. Oh, I'm not talking about the one from your home. Like the one, like I wouldn't say a business grade. You know, they have hard drives that tape exactly what's going on. For
Yeah,
a
I
certain
know.
amount of time.
I was thinking that's an extra piece of equipment that somebody could steal. steal.
Yeah, we need it secured and disguised if we could, you know what I mean? So that
Well,
people
the
did not
cameras
know.
can't be, but the hardware would be in the shed. And
Yep.
we can actually, can even make a lockbox for even, well, actually probably want to make a lockbox for it anyway. Prevent people from inadvertently screwing it up.
Yeah, throwing rocks at it, hitting baseballs at
No,
it.
I'm talking
deciding it's
nothing.
a
Oh,
project.
yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah. that's
They
what
make
all-
also protective cages for them, for
Mhm.
the cameras themselves.
Yeah, I think we would need to do that.
But yeah.
Good
But again, all
suggestion.
that stuff is an additional cost. Of course. Nothing's free.
So I'm moving right along here, you guys. Unless anybody had anything else to add about parks maintenance or cameras or security down there. Nate is doing our gatekeeping still and has been very loyal at opening early in the morning. He's usually down there around 7 and opens and then closes at dusk, or you know, between 7 and 8 usually. So that's continuing. But what we need to discuss is our summer concert schedule. I think I sent in an email out to you guys that when we last talked concerts, you guys gave me a bunch of suggestions and we picked several bands. And then I was to go to work and try and hire them and plug them in, and it worked. Lots of times there's some schedule snafus, but this came together nicely. So and here's where it's at. We have them scheduled, but until the town votes on May 25th, which is next Tuesday, you guys, please go down to town hall and vote for our budget. Until the budget passes, I don't sign contracts with the bands. But after May 25th, I can, and then it becomes official, and concerts are always the first thing to come up in the new fiscal year. Excuse me just a second. Sierra, could you please let your dog out? Thank you. So here's what we've got for summer concert. It always starts after the 4th of July and runs consecutive Tuesdays. July 6th, we have Centerline Band for $700. July 13th, we have Shaded Soul Band for $800. July 20th, we have the Great Garage Reunion Band, who we've never had before, but they're like a 12-piece band, and they're some local guys. I'm looking forward to them. July 27th is the Carey Boys, and they're the Irish trio, who we've had before a bunch of times and are very entertaining. And then the last one, August 3rd, will be Rock Solid Alibi for $650. And the Irish trio is also $650. So we are within budget. And we have them lined up. What we have to decide is when we in June, usually we would be deciding about food at the concerts and which one we might want to do our barbecue at. The last one, August 3rd, I am away on vacation. So the past few years, we have decided not to do the barbecue on that night. We've done it when I've been around, which I of course like to be around for it, but I don't have to be. Does anybody have any thoughts or preference on when they think it might be best for us to do our barbecue? It could be July 27th with the Carey Boys, the Irish music. It could be July 20th with the Great Garage Reunion Band that has like a 12-piece band. Or on July 13th, it's Shaded Soul, and they're always really good. We've done it on their night before. They're the most expensive band and one of the best. Can't hear you, Andrew.
Yeah, my computer just told me. It's pretty smart, isn't it? Smarter than me. It doesn't, the days don't matter to me. Any one of those I think would be fine. I don't have
Okay.
anything scheduled that I'm aware of. So
Neil, do you have a preference?
Not too early in July because I'll be out of state.
Okay,
I think I'm going from the 9th to the 16th, I think.
okay. That's when Shaded Soul will be up. What do you think if we go for it on July 20th, the Great Garage Reunion Band?
I'm easy.
There'll be 2 concerts before it and 2 concerts after, and we'll take the middle one.
Sure, that's fine.
Okay. Anybody have a suggestion on menu?
Hamburgers, hot dogs.
For our barbecue night, we usually do one night with hamburgers and hot dogs, and then on our barbecue night, we've always done pulled pork and the cold.
Yeah, Dan's not here. Our chef.
Well, I think previously we just ordered it from, we got pre-made stuff, which was actually pretty good. You couldn't tell.
Don't tell
Yes,
Dan that.
yeah, it's gotten it from Sam's Club before. We saved a ton of money though when Dan did it, but I felt so bad. He did it that day in the extreme heat. Do you guys remember that last year?
Yeah.
I thought he was crazy. We'll have to check in on what the health department wants us to do, and then I'll also see what Dan's up for. But we'll see if we can zero in on the 20th for that. And then we usually have the Republicans take a night for concert food. The Democrats take a night for concert food. The PTO takes a night for concert food. And I think the other night we have done with hamburgers and hot dogs, or perhaps, I don't know, I've always wondered if the farmer's market would want to take a night. I think some of it depends upon where the health department's at then too, with food service, but I'm hoping we'll have food service again this summer. Anybody know of another organization you think we should ask if they want to serve something?
You don't think that maybe one of the local, like a Wooden Spoon would want to, hey, something like that, maybe?
We have always done like service organizations, Andrew, not for-profit businesses in town, but it doesn't mean that we couldn't. But then it gets into, well, how did you choose Wooden Spoon and not Midway, or, you know what I mean?
Suggestion.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
I heard the firemen are not doing their, Ashford Fire Department is not doing their chicken barbecue for Father's Day this year.
They're not?
Oh, I wonder if they would want to do anything. I don't know. We're pretty lucky to get them for Family Day for their contribution there, but.
Terry, I think it's a nice idea to ask the farmers market group, just see if they were interested.
Yep. Okay. Hi, Leslie. How are you?
Hi, very good, thanks. How are you?
Good. I didn't know you were on. Great to hear from you.
Sorry, I was sneaky, yeah.
how was your shower this weekend?
Oh my God, you're sweet. It was beyond anything I can explain, and I'll tell you all about it. But it was a Alice in Wonderland theme with more detail than I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was an experience, and I will share pictures with you later. Yeah, it's super things.
Cool. And was it a friend who's getting married or a
Yeah,
family member?
friend's daughter, someone I've known since she was a little girl, and
Nice.
found a great match. Yeah, great match.
Oh, good. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree. I like the farmer's market idea. And I will pursue it with them.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything else to say about summer concerts? I mean, we'll be outside, so I don't think we're gonna need to be like stopping people on their way in and putting the sign up about 6 feet of distance and masks. I think it's all gonna be relaxed by then.
Well, what about here? This is another vaccinated, non-vaccinated. Are we gonna be carding people?
I heard from Catherine today that we're not allowed to ask.
Yeah, it's discriminatory, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's a HIPAA violation. I wouldn't ask anybody. No.
I'm partially joking.
Yeah.
Actually, I am joking.
Well, good, because someone asked me yesterday, so I'm a little sensitive to it, but I think you want to stay away from that, right?
Ah,
Concert schedule. All right, other summer programs. So we're definitely planning to do bike camp. Our summer camp at the end of June got nixed for this year by the other people who run it with me. So that's not a plan, but I'm hoping
what do you mean mixed?
nixed. Melissa and Catherine
Scrapped.
both said no.
Oh, Nick.
Nix.
N.
N-I-X. Yeah.
got it. Okay.
I lost that battle. I am hoping to be able to offer some more swim lessons at the lakes. I'm hoping we'll be able to do some swimming at Ashford Lake and also at Lake Chaffee and offer lessons up there. We of course have to get the association's approval, and we'll probably need to get a rider, you know, naming us as additionally insured to do it up there because they are private membership organizations. But what's stimulating all this is Bethany Dosty is back in town and she has her WSI and is looking for more work. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to do that. Of course, all our other swimming lessons have gone on at the Evangelical Christian Center, which is awesome. But in the summertime, their facility is too busy and we don't want to use it in the summer. We'd prefer to go outside, which for this summer is a good idea anyway.
That would be great.
Yeah, so I'm hopeful that that'll work. Not too much red tape to make it happen, but we'll see.
Have we done that in the past?
A long, long time ago, Andrew, we've offered them at Lake Chaffee before, probably more than 10 years ago.
And how much did we have to worry about well, I assume we'd have to worry about the insurances back then as well. But
Yeah, I think it was a rider or a little policy that you had to add. Lake Chaffee had to name us as additionally insured.
and what about lifeguards and all that?
Your swim instructor serves as a lifeguard.
Okay.
But you certainly have to watch your numbers. So anyway, that's the ideas I had. Bike camp is a go. Garth's on board for bike camp and we set that for the second week in July. And I don't have the calendar in front of me right now, but we also want to do camp out at the end, our camp out at the end of the month, and I haven't decided yet about Girl Power Fitness Camp.
And the month of July.
It would be into August. Those two programs usually run in August.
All right.
We need to make some decisions about our Labor Day 5K road race. If you remember, 2 years ago, it was kind of a big floppo because we had like 36 runners where we used to get 100, 120. So we still have some prizes and some shirts left over that I'd love to use up. Obviously, nothing happened in this past year. We need to either revitalize that or come up with a different fundraiser or let it go and move on.
Well, do we have anything to replace it?
Not presently.
Sherry, any idea why the previous race may have been smaller? Was there any, I don't know, any feedback or any observation?
Yeah, I think one of the key things was the 169 Club. Do you know them, Leslie, or remember about them?
No, I'm not familiar with them.
Okay, there's a running club in the state of Connecticut that their goal is to run one 5K road race in every town in Connecticut.
Wow.
And so they have previously not sponsored, but supported our event to the tune of maybe 30, 40, 50 runners
Wow.
from there. And I think a lot of them had now done Ashford. And so they were moving on to other towns.
Gotcha. Is that their choice when and where, or is there a group you can contact and schedule at the same time, or?
It goes out, the group is huge. It's like 1,200 people in the 169 Club. And so they have their own email, or they blast it out when an event is happening. But, you know, maybe that alone would bring people back to us because they were unable to do many events unless they were virtual last year. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
It just sounds maybe an inquiry, if they could send out a blast or encourage a certain date, would they do that? And
Yeah. One of the issues with the event is there's a fair amount of outlay of money up front when you bring in the timing company, the last mile racing company. You're
gotcha.
Yeah, you're a over 500 with the outlay of costs for bibs and all of that, but that's also what brings in your runners. They want it timed. I don't know why they don't just click their watch and say, okay, and that's good, but they want it official. Many of them want it official.
Anybody can fake a watch. I can
I
understand.
guess I just do not have the heart for competitive running. You know what I mean? My watch would be just fine for me.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's like drag racing. Yeah, I did, 12:3 in the quarter. Oh yeah, where's your tag? Where's the thing that shows you? Yeah, I did 11:6. No big deal.
Prove it, huh?
Yeah, prove it.
I think we should maybe try it one more year. What do you guys think? Obviously, nobody knows what coming out of a pandemic is going to mean for various programs.
Could be popular because of people not doing anything last year. So
Right,
maybe
that could
more
be it.
people would, it could go either way, right? I mean, who knows?
I would sure like to use up those t-shirts I have. I don't know, I think we have 50 or so left.
Now, is there a way of getting like like just feelers, say, hey, how are you guys into doing this? Rather than going through all this, spending the, $600, $700 or whatever, and then finding
Right.
out it's a big bust. Is there any way of like testing the waters?
I think Last Mile Racing Company, our timing company, would be a pretty good place to check things out with and see what's happening. What I've been hearing is that road races are starting to go again, and they're doing a staggered start. You know what I mean by that? Like instead of having 100 people all go on the gun, they're letting 20 go. And then a minute later, 20 more go, and a minute later, 20 more go. So again, it's all about trying to spread people out. Fortunately, we have a big space down at Ashford Memorial Park that helps with spreading people out. And we could do that kind of thing if needed. But our course is also 2 loops and back to the start. So you are going to have some coming in, and the groups will cross each other's path, certainly.
Sure, but we're outside, so.
Yeah, so don't worry about it, right? Especially in
Right.
September.
Mhm.
Okay,
I think it's worth a whirl.
okay, thank you, Leslie. Anybody else?
I can support that.
Yeah.
I mean, sounds fine to me. I don't
Okay.
have strong feelings one way or another.
All right, we usually do it Labor Day weekend, the Saturday of Labor Day weekend. So I'll check those dates and check in with Last Mile Racing and see what things look like. But also keep your eyes and ears peeled for other fundraisers that might be good for us. Garth's bike ride, we did for 9 years, and it brought us in great money. And then we did this road race for the last, 4 or 5, right, Garth? I don't know. I'd have to look the dates up.
remember.
And
September
it
6th
was
is
great.
Labor Day.
Huh?
September 6th is Labor Day, so we might even, by then we're hoping that all this humbug is done.
Yes. So September 6th is the Monday.
Monday, September 6th. Yep.
All right. So we would be doing it Saturday, September 4th
Before.
in the morning, 10 o'clock. That's when it would go. All right. Thank you there. I just wanted to have a little discussion with you guys that I actually had with the School Readiness Council that I attend, because the other people in that group was Troy Hopkins and the preschool teachers and Sharon Edwards and all of that. And we were trying to discuss, like, what is it that kids are really missing, and what is it that they have lost in this last year, and how can we fill that gap or be part of the solution to help kids. They were talking about it as kind of a catch-up philosophy, and they were sharing, the preschool teachers were sharing that kids have missed the opportunity to work on projects together and problem solve in small groups. That kind of hands-on stuff with that, working closely at a project with other kids. And then Troy said that he thought kids were still missing, or if there's a way that we can help with a summer reading program where we're encouraging kids to read, or he even threw out the idea, if there was a big thermometer in front of the library or something, and there was a goal where the town is supposed to read 1,000 books over the summer or something, and it could be measured and kids could be watching, and some kind of goal like that to really encourage summer reading, because that is so key to all of their language development and so key to school success as they go forward.
How about a story time?
Yeah, some of this falls into the library category, and I don't
Right.
want to step on their toes, but I'm just sharing with you what came out of that conversation and wondering if anybody else had ideas or thoughts on that line. Maybe Carol Ann from the library has something planned and it's something we could support or encourage in some way.
Barry, do you know where the library opening stands right now?
Yes, it's open by appointment right now.
Okay,
And I do know that Catherine's in a selectmen's meeting the same time as we are right now, and they're talking about a reopening plan. They
Okay.
originally thought not until July, and it's looking more and more now like it'll be June. They're gonna be moving that up based on the governor's announcement last week, and also they'll be listening into what he has to say on the 19th, I guess, in terms of
uh-huh,
getting things opened up a bit.
good.
APRC, outside recreation, how about throwing like a tournament event, kickball, like one of the fundraisers we were thinking of, but rather than, was it kickball, volleyball, dodgeball, obstacle course? Get all the kids in the town to participate in that, something like that.
I like that idea, Andrew.
That's something we did for the school. What was the thing didn't they have like a outside event during the year, springtime? We did an obstacle course then.
Yeah, it was Spring Jamboree,
Spring
PTO.
Yeah.
Yep. Or an obstacle course. Yep.
Is that,
And are you thinking of that, Andrew, as a way that we can make money or just a fun thing for the kids to come down to the park and do sometime?
well, like the school was saying, I'm sure there are a lot of kids out there where the homeschoolers, a lot of them are sitting on their couch sometimes watching TV or tablet and all of that. So I'm sure a lot of them would probably need to get outdoors and run around.
Yep.
So I was thinking more of like the athletic thing for physical education. Or
Yeah.
if you want to use it as a fundraiser, I'm easy. But it's something we brought up in the past,
Yeah.
and it's
I have heard people even talk about adult kickball tournaments. Have you guys seen or heard of that at all?
No, but that would be fun. I think that would be as more of a social thing,
Yep.
right? So no real official teams, kind of make it up as when people show up. So it's kind of ad hoc, and then it's all just random, so that it's not really competitive. I mean, you can be competitive,
Right.
nothing wrong with that, but
more
where
fun
winning
and
isn't really the
content.
goal. The goal is just to get to be on a team with some people maybe you don't know, other people in town, and I thought that would be good.
That'd be
Yeah.
fun. That would be fun.
I actually had Carrie Pramuka come up to me Saturday and ask about an adult softball league. And I really don't think there's enough interest in town for that in and of itself. But one thing we talked about kind of around Family Day was, could we divide the town into 4 quadrants and get 4 adult softball teams that might play each other?
That would be fun.
or kickball.
Yes.
Anybody can play
softball or
kickball.
kickball or anything like that.
Kickballs don't hurt so much when you get hit with them.
That's right. I'm with you, Garth.
Maybe we do that as a kickball thing. I'm liking what you guys are saying there, especially thinking that, some of these parents might have little kids around, and we do make it safer if we make it kickball rather than softball.
Kids
Mind
against
drives.
the parents. Hey, that's always good.
Tax bearers versus deductions. Yep. And we incorporate food.
Yeah.
Yes, and we sell it. and
That would
make,
be fun.
and make money, right?
Absolutely. I was gonna say refreshments, right?
Right. Do you ever see that Cheech and Chong movie called Nice Dreams?
No.
Okay, well, never mind. They had an ice cream truck and they weren't selling ice cream.
Yeah.
Sherry, regarding what
Well,
you were
wait.
saying about,
What were they selling?
I don't remember. I saw the movie so long ago. I have no idea.
Why don't you remember?
Because I was stoned. No, just kidding. Regarding what you were mentioning, Troy saying about kids reading and whatnot.
Yeah,
I don't have an actual suggestion, but let me just, in case one day it fits someplace at some camp, maybe. When I was homeschooling my kids, we went to the Ashford Memorial Park, and I remember making, with chalk, I made something on the ground, and I think it might have been math. I think we were doing something like hopscotch with math or something. And at home we did math bingo, and they used M&Ms on their cards. So when they got the row, they got to eat the M&Ms.
yep.
So I used a big whiteboard to do math problems, and then they would do that. So I'm just saying that because maybe at some point there's some camp, and maybe there could be some game regarding reading, even
Yep.
where the we would just have to make it up unless there is a game, but you could probably just make something up, and it's easy because kids are pretty easy to entertain and keep them happy. But you could do something possibly like that using chalk, the blacktop and whatnot.
You know what? I just thought of something. We play Yahtzee, Uno, and all that stuff. How about a Yahtzee event, an Uno event? Get all the kids together and play Yahtzee. Well, maybe it's kind of like a gambling, but Uno,
Mhm.
that's math.
Yes.
In school, and it's chuck it outside at the park, put some tables on the basketball court, and get some kids get some fresh air, socialize a little bit.
And are you thinking of that as something we charge for, or something we just do for fun?
Fun. Or if you want to, I'm easy. However you want to do it. Sell food. Throw the events, sell food. Make everyone fat and happy.
Hey, Garth, that reminds me, I don't think I told you this, but I saw a really cute idea around biking. The event is called Bikin' and Eggs. And they take a bike ride early on a Sunday morning, and then they come down and for a bacon and egg breakfast after. Have you
You
ever
did
heard of that before?
I have not. You did mention that in an email.
Oh, I did. I thought that was a really cute idea.
It is cute. Mostly it's cute because of the words.
Right.
Oh, come on, Garth.
You know what my problem is? I'm just getting old and cranky.
Oh, no.
Well, no, let me take that back. Not cranky,
Just old.
old and just kind of tired. Yep.
I get you.
Counting the days down.
It happens, Garth. Happens to the best of us.
I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here. Then I'm going to go here. And I'm going to drive out here. Here.
You planning your trek? You going on bike or by car?
Motorhome, hopefully.
Cool.
I would like to do the same exact thing.
We're doing that this summer.
I
Are
wanna
you
go
really,
across the
Leslie?
state.
Yeah, we're gonna jam a lot in a small window, but we're gonna do it. Yeah.
Where are you headed?
Hopefully the last destination's Yellowstone
Yeah.
and then back. It's a quickie. It's a quick one, but RV. Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
Good for you.
We're excited.
Wait, hold on.
Charlie going too? I
Yep.
mean, both
Yep.
of your Charlies?
Everybody, yeah.
How
So-
do you do a quickie to Yellowstone in an RV?
Yeah, I
What
know
are
it,
you
Andrew.
considering quickie?
You got
Watch
at
this.
You got at
Watch
least
this.
2 to 3 weeks, right, Leslie?
We're going like literally like 12 days.
Whoa,
Yep,
that's tight.
we're gonna move fast. That's right.
Some people fly to Denver and rent an RV
Yeah, I like
To-
that idea.
when they have less time on their hands or available.
So come on, Garth.
What?
She wants you to go with them. We'll make a caravan. What do you think of that?
There you
I can't-
go.
Sounds really fun.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are doing things like that right now, right?
Yes, more and more people are. I've been into this for probably 3 years, and it seems like it's growing in popularity for sure.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Leslie, do you know Kim Ayers? She was on our rec commission, our chairperson for a while. For a long time, actually. She and her family did it maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah,
And she has great stories to tell about it.
yeah.
In their trek across the country, they ran into every kind of weather imaginable
Oh,
in
no.
various states, in various, like, I'm talking hurricane, tornadoes, all of that stuff.
Yeah, I think summertime can bring a little more of that, right? Like tornado kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Kim has great stories and could advise you if you're needing any.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So do you guys have anything to contribute to the conversation about what kids need to catch up on? What have they been missing this past year? How can Ashford Park and Rec help fill that gap? I mean, we've had some discussion on it and come up with a few ideas there. Anybody have something different to add there, or?
I think for the most part, academics would be the school doing it, right? As far as our role goes, wouldn't it be more of a socialization, social stuff
Social
maybe?
Athletic. Yeah.
I mean, not that you can't mix the two, kind of, like I
Yeah,
was saying.
I think Andrew, Garth, your ideas on, the having fun and some of the maybe team sports stuff, more of a social side are great. And regarding Mr. Hopkins, he's right. I think he's right on the money in regards to the children's socializing and ability to, like you said, problem solve and encourage their reading and helping that along, because I have no doubt the preschoolers especially and kindergartners that might have been a little harder for them the past year.
mhm.
I don't know. And again, how can you incorporate that down in the park? Or maybe we can have volunteer readers, like I think Andrew, you said, maybe some group reading and stories, or I don't even know if we've got folks that might be interested in doing little plays for the kids. I don't know if anyone's out there, that does this kind of stuff, but
Does anybody think more things like wings and swings and adventure type group work?
Exactly what I was thinking was
would be
that's
fun.
wings working together to solve problems is all that's what wings is about, right?
Yep,
Wings.
Yeah.
What is that?
yeah.
Paul McCartney's band.
Oh,
No, it's the adventure program that Melissa does each year, and the kids, I think they do it every year, wings and swings, and then by the time you get up to 7th and 8th grade, you go to Hole in the Wall Gang Camp for overnight, and you're on their adventure course and all. It's group work, problem solving, and learning how to value members of your group and problem solve together.
I don't ever remember coming across that.
Really?
Yeah,
my stepson used to do that a lot, I think.
I think the kids would enjoy that.
Yeah, they do it at the end of the school year every year, Andrew.
Soon.
But that's for
Yeah.
an older age group, right?
No, I think they start it young. They do something with first and second graders and then something with third and fourth, and they work it right on up through. I'll check in with Melissa and see where it's at. I know that Hole in the Wall was not open to doing it this year, but Melissa was taking a group of kids to the adventure park in Stores.
Oh, awesome.
So that the older kids, the junior high,
Yeah.
to do that rope climbing work. You guys, I think that's about all I have for tonight. Does anybody have anything else they would like to add or discuss? Our last agenda item is miscellaneous, and I like to throw that on there.
Well, is the school planning on doing their spring jamboree or no?
No spring jamboree planned this year. PTO does that every other year.
Oh, every other year?
Every other year it is. So I don't know if this was another year because of COVID and so it wasn't pursued, or if we normally would have been doing it.
All right.
But I would say that it's not, it usually has happened by now. When they do it, they usually do it in early May.
Girl power, camp out. Well, I'm good.
Are we all set for tonight then?
Sounds good.
All right, thank you, everybody. And I'll send out the minutes